Here's what's coming up on Matchweek 14, Arsenal versus Wolves, Brentford, Luton, and a big one at the bottom of the table, Burnley and Sheffield United all kick off at the same time. Nottingham Forest take on Everton, and then at the end of the night, it's Newcastle's clash with Manchester United. 5 games on Sunday as well. Chelsea's clash with Brighton and Liverpool Fulham all kick off at the same time. West Ham Crystal Palace too, and then centre stage for Manchester City and Tottenham. Here's the state of play in the Premier League heading into Matchweek 14. There's a new leader. Arsenal are top of the table, just a point above Man City. Liverpool a further point behind, and they are level on points with Aston Villa into the top 4. That was one of the big breaking stories of Matchweek 13. Tottenham in 5th place, Manchester United in 6th, just 1 point clear of the team they do face on the weekend. That's Newcastle. Chelsea into the top 10. Bottom half of the Premier League table looks like this. Luton, Sheffield United, Everton and Burnley all in danger of that drop zone there, the bottom 3 as it stands. Bournemouth just a little bit of a gap on Luton, but so close to call between Brentford, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Fulham and Nottingham Forest as well as Bournemouth. So very tight at the top, very close at the bottom as well, and that means plenty to talk about today heading into the latest round. Happy December, everybody. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We love having our viewers from all over the world, and lovely to have a Triple J in studio today. Jermaine Beckford and Julian Lahans today. Jules, let's start with you. Great to have December. That means back-to-back football, right?
Yeah, of course. And thank you for joining us after your shift at the bank today. We're delighted to have you.
Air hostess, you want the chicken or the beef?
The airline. I don't know where you were flying back from.
So this way.
Yeah, this way, in case of an emergency. But yeah, great football. No, December is always very special, of course, in England because of the tradition of Boxing Day, and you would have played in many of them. So yeah, very much looking forward to it.
Listen, I was not prepared for the cold. I was not built for the cold. And now we are here. I'm normally talking about, beach times and having some cocktails on the beach because it's summer. And now we're here discussing boots. And do you have warm enough jumpers? Thank you.
I do indeed. I've come prepped for the snow. I've got the big boots on today just to make sure. Look, I'm a December baby. I was born in December, so I know what it's about. I came prepared. Got to be safe.
They say if it's December, you should celebrate every day. We don't see any cake, any champagne, anything in studio next time. Eh?
It's my birthday, so you lot should be surprising me, treating me. That's how we do it in my house.
That's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
No? All right, next time.
That's not how it works. Well, how it does work is we're going to tell you what you can look forward to on this episode of Team Talks. In focus, first up is City's clash with Spurs. Let's hear from Pep Guardiola, then Ange Postecoglou.
He's a stamp. He's already there. So in a period of short time, even the games that didn't win lately, I'm impressed how good many things they do, and how many chances they create, and how aggressive in all departments. So he came here and nothing. In a few months, you recognize perfectly his team.
Are you surprised by his sort of positive approach and how he's adapted so quickly to the Premier League?
Every manager or every team plays for the desire for the manager. So and he has done in the past, I think in Japan and of course in Glasgow with Celtic and now. So and I think he make a football a better place, persons like Ange. So because his teams is, I'm manager, I said many times, but at the same time I'm a spectator. And I enjoy a lot watching them play, the approach they have, and I think all the Spurs fans and the people in England can admit that the impact has been quick and really good.
Just finally from me, in terms of in the past, people talked about a top 4, a top 6, but with teams like Tottenham, Brighton, Aston Villa, Newcastle all
I think the first day I bumped into him, he was just that determined to get back, and he had his own timelines in his head, and I think I said, he kept banging on my door about being involved, and we kind of held back because obviously with such a significant injury, you want to make sure they're ready, and he'd done everything right. Obviously he had a good international break where he got back playing for his country, and like I said, started the game so well. So with all that context, you're just gutted for him because of the person he is and what he's gone through. But that's unfortunately that's what the challenges football sometimes throws up at you, and you know, he's still such a positive guy. I caught up with him yesterday, and he's just again determined to crack on and get back as quickly as possible. And yeah, can't wait to get him back in because you saw his quality.
Pep Guardiola's just said in his press conference, you make football a better place. And I know had a bit of fun on Sky about saying you copy and Pep, but you do have very similar philosophies about the way you play football and the attacking philosophies. But do all the injuries and the amount of players you've got out this Sunday, does it really put a dampener on such a big game and someone you're looking forward to coming up against?
No, not really, because, you know, irrespective of kind of what team you got, it's always going to be a challenge playing against, you know, City and any team that sort of Pep manages, and you love that, you relish that. That's the kind of arena you want to be in, measuring yourself against the very best. And yeah, it'd be great if you know, things were a little bit smoother for us, but it is what it is. And you know, I still think during this period, you know, even last week, you know, there were moments in the game where we played some fantastic football, and that's what we just got to crack on. We just got to get on with it. Ultimately, we can't take our eyes off what we're trying to achieve here, and you know, that for me is always paramount to everything I do, every decision I make. You know, every sort of time we put a team out there, it's about us, you know, becoming the team we want to become, and through that process, there's going to be some challenges, as there is now, some tough times, and you just got to stay really focused on what you're trying to achieve.
Something we're asking all managers today, what's been a big topic, is sin bins for dissent and tactical fouls. A yellow card potentially in 10 minutes in the sin bin. It's working in some lower levels of football and it's working in other sports right at the very top. Just want to get your view on it. Yeah,
bin it, mate. Just bin the whole idea. Just forget about it. I don't understand why, and again, I think I've already said where I stand on this kind of stuff, but I don't know why they keep interjecting themselves into the game. There's not that much wrong in the game, you know. But again, I guess once they throw an idea like that out, it usually means they've already sort of tested the waters and it'll probably be inevitable at one stage. I don't think there's a need for it. I think you're seeing a lot more dissent in the game these days because you've got more people to dissent to. In the past, it was just the referee. Now you can dissent to the fourth official, you can dissent to the VAR, you can dissent to the head of the referees. And, you know, it used to be simpler. So the authority was with the referee, and he could handle it himself. So, but as I said, I just don't think we need to mess with the game too much. But
Ange is looking forward to it. So are all of us. A couple of weeks ago, Jules, this would have been a top of the table clash. Very different now.
Very different. 3 defeats in a row for Tottenham, of course, with all the injuries and the suspensions. There will be a very weekend again to go to the Etihad, where, okay, apart from the Liverpool draw, City had won 23 games in a row in a competition, which is an incredible record. So it would be hard for them. We were wondering before the show together, if you were Postecoglou, would you play the same high line defensively? Would you go a bit more cautious on the start of the game? I think for me, he will have to adjust. If he doesn't adjust, I fear it could be a very long afternoon for them.
Yeah, that's a big question I think all of us want to know, because Ange Ball, as we've been calling it, they were unbeaten in the opening 10 games of the season. We all loved it. Now 3 defeats in a row. Do they stick with Ange Ball because they have, or should they be a little bit more conservative?
Look, you're playing against arguably one of the best, if not the best, football inside in world football. So you have to adjust your game accordingly, taking into account especially the players that are out injured as well. He would be crazy to play that high line, that forward-thinking, aggressive football against this City team with the players that he has at his disposal. However, I can still see him doing it, because we saw, was it Chelsea, the 4-4 game? The way Chelsea got the result there was by pressing really high up the pitch and being really aggressive, being on the front foot, getting in City's faces. And it worked for them to an extent. They scored 4 goals against them. Not many teams can say that they've done that against City. So for him to be able to get some kind of result, I think that's what he would have to do. However, look, we're talking about the personnel that's available to him as well. He's got a lot of key players out injured, which is going to make a massive, massive difference to the quality that's actually on the pitch. I fear it's going to be a very difficult game for him.
Because one of the early markers of Tottenham and what was so impressive was the way in which they were able to score goals. They were scoring it for fun. It was amazing to watch. In these 3 defeats, they've only scored 1 goal per game.
Yeah, and they still create chances, though. If you look at all the underlying stats, not just the goals and the assists or shots on target, even expected goals, but the expected goals are good. So they create that, but when you lose Maddison, who was at the heart of everything good that you were doing creatively, it's difficult. I still think there's a place for Giovanni Lo Celso a bit higher up the pitch than what he was doing against Villa, for example. But yeah, you will always lack creativity when Maddison isn't there. So it's up to Kulusevski, to Lo Celso, to Brandon Johnson, for example,
Son.
even Brian Hill and Son up front to make up for that. It's difficult though. So it's been worrying, I think. Maybe it's not so much the lack of goals. It's more that I feel without Van der Ven and Romero were, for me, the best partnership in the Premier League defensively.
100%.
Them and Saliba, Gabriel, those four. You've lost both of them. Romero is coming back in the following game, so he's still out for the City game. But Van der Ven, we won't see him before January or maybe even February. And I think this is maybe where Ange needs the most that